Today I'm going to show you how to create a layout in Chief Architect. This happens to be the shed activity that we are doing in class. And now we need to put this on a layout. We need to put the floor plan and a couple of renderings from this structure onto a sheet of paper. So to do that, first of all, let's get our floor plan ready to go here. Floor plan, we need to take the roof off, at least the display of the roof. So to do that, you go up to the check mark right up here, display options box, and we're going to go, this will display, first of all, what layers are being used. Whether you know it or not, in the background, Chief Architect is constantly adding layers. So when you put windows in, it puts all your windows on a layer. So if you wanted to turn the windows off for some reason and not display those, you have that ability. Same with the doors and with the roof and so on. So kind of behind the scenes, this is what's happening. So in this layer display option window, the layers that are used will have a plus right here. And to turn that layer off, you just uncheck under the display, uncheck the checkbox. So in this case, we want to go down to the roofs, down in the R's, and here are roof planes. You'll notice that's being used, so we'll uncheck roof planes, and it also says roof baselines are used, and that's being displayed. So let's turn those off, and now when I click OK, hopefully this dashed line showing the roof will be gone. Now we didn't delete it. The roof is still there. We just turn the display of that off. Now, to make this look nice and professional, we need to put some dimensions around the outside here. And so to do that, there's an auto dimensioning tool here, the A with the arrow going through, and we'll just do auto exterior dimension. And now that puts some dimensions on. In this case, this structure is 20 by 19.4. So I believe your shed is actually supposed to be 12 by 20, or 12 by 16, I believe. So make sure that yours is 12 by 16. But for demonstration purposes, we'll just go ahead and get this ready to go. All right, so now this is ready to send to a layout, but now we have to open a layout to get started. So we'll go up here to File, Open Layout. And each year this kind of changes where this is at, but typically it will be in your documents under Chief Architect, and you will see eventually, let's go documents, and then X8. In this year is X8. Under templates, you will see layout borders, and finally imperial layouts. Now, Architecture B, they changed this year. It's 12 by 18, but we want the 11 by 17 model or version. So we'll just go ahead and open this right here, and that will open a sheet of paper that's 11 by 17. You'll see the border lines all the way around the perimeter of the paper, and also over here on the right-hand side, this is called the title block. The title block contains all the critical information regarding the drawing. So if I zoom in here just a little bit, we can see it displays the current date, the scale, the sheet size. It also whatever the sheet is saved at is here, and we need to put our name right here. Now, the way Chief Architect works this, I'll go over here and display that. We are on sheet 1 right now. Whatever we put on page 1, of course, will be there. Page 2 should be blank. All right. If we go back to page 0, this is the template page. Whatever you put on page 0 will show up on every single page of this drawing. So like if your house ends up with 10 different sheets of different drawings on them for your house, whatever you put on page 0 will end up on all 10 pages. So we'd want to put our name on page 0 so it'll show up on all 10 pages, or in this case, it's just going to be a single page. Now, to put our name here, up here, click on the text tool, and just click down by this box here, and just click anywhere along here, and we should use all capital letters. There's my name, and just say OK. And now, if we use the selection tool to select the name, gives you this triangle, click and drag, and that will rotate it, and then hover over that center handle, and we can drag it right into place there. And now we have the name in here for drawings provided by and your name. Your name should always go here. Now I'm going to go back to page 1 before I forget. And now we need to save this in your 3D architecture folder. So I'm going to go File, Save As. And under Save As, please do not just go Save. If you say Save, it's going to save it over this template Architecture B 11 by 17 drawing. And we do not want to save it there. We want to save it to your OneDrive. And you'll want to save it to the 3D architecture. And we would call this shed layout. And I'm going to call demo 1. All right. And now I'll say save. And now it is saved there. Now, let's figure out how to get your drawings over here. So I'll go back to the floor plan. And to send this view over to our layout, you click right up here, Send to Layout. When you do that, it opens this box. Now, this is a very important box because it controls what you send and how you send it. This tells us we're going to send it to page 1. That's good. Whatever page you are currently on in the layout, if you remember I changed to page 1, that's the page it will be sending it to unless you change it right here. Show a layout page, just leave that checked. Now this right here is really important. Send options, how you're going to send it. If you want the entire plan or view, that's just going to send this plan and the dimensions. If you say current screen, it's going to send the whole screen to the layout. And if you do the screen as an image, it's just going to take like a snapshot of this and send that along with the graph even behind it. And notice if you go current screen as an image, all this goes gray. I'll send another picture that way. But for right now, for your floor plan, just do entire plan. And by the instructions, we're supposed to set it at 1/4 inch equal foot. Say OK. And say OK to that. And here it is. Now, if you click on that, if you'll notice, if I try and resize it, it just crops the picture because this is set as 1/4 inch equal foot. So if you would measure this window right, if you'd take a measurement, and let's say this wall measures 1 inch in your printout, there are 4/4 in 1 inch, so that means that 1 inch wall is actually a 4-foot wall in reality. So it's going to print it to a certain size. So that's why it won't allow you to resize it. So I'm just going to back this up so we capture the whole image again. Oop, I think I'm cutting off a few of the dimensions here. There we go. And now we have the whole thing. Now, if you hover over that center point, we can slide this over here. And at no time should you ever have anything extending outside of the border lines. So now let's put a couple of renderings or pictures over here. So we're going to go back to here and let's take a picture of our house without the roof. And this one I was playing around. I put logs on the outside and tile floor on the inside. But get it angled. You're welcome to pick whatever view that you want. I think it kind of looks nice from this view right here because here I could see I have a double door. I can also see the inside. So that's a pretty good view right there in my estimation. And so to send this, you just click Send. And now you'll want to do this as a current screen. And you'll just, you cannot send this to scale. And so we'll just say, OK. And now in here, now, if you take this and move it over, now this one, since we did not send it to scale, we can resize the size of this picture right here in the layout mode. And that looks pretty good right there. You might want to move this label up just a little bit. There we go. That looks pretty good. Now let's go ahead and go back and let's create one more view with the roof. And again, get it just about where it's supposed to be there. And then send to layout. And again, current screen. No scale. Say OK. Oop, come in, move this one over, get it scaled down a little bit. I could see that camera needs to be moved up there, that label. Okay, so now we have this. Now I definitely save that before you go any further. And that looks pretty good. And you can see, since I saved it to Shed Layout Demo 1, that will display right here, wherever you save it as. Your name should be on there. And you can leave everything else. The date will be on there. And now the last thing is you're going to print this off. Now, to send it to the printer, you click the print icon. And it'll take it just a minute for that window to come up. And there's a few critical things in the setup when you go to send this to print. The first thing is select the printer that you want to send it to, in this case the HOVRDOM 502. Make sure this size is set to wherever your sheet size is, and that should be 11 by 17 for this exercise. We'll leave on all sheets. If you see more than one sheet over here, you might want to just say current sheet. That means whatever current sheet you're on over here, that's the only one it will print. Drawing sheet, make sure that this drawing sheet says 11 by 17. This should match the paper size. If it does not, you will need to open the system dialog print box and go into the printer settings and change it to 11 by 17. And then we are going to say to scale, and that means it's going to print this out exactly to scale, 1/4 inch equal a foot. And I think all the rest of this is good. Oh, make sure you, by default, that will be unchecked and it will print it in grayscale. We want to print this thing in color, so I'm going to check that. And it's in color, and then all you're going to do is say print, and away it will go to the printer and print. Good luck on creating your layouts. It's really pretty easy to do, and hope you have a good time with Chief Architect.